Hello there, good morning. It's 11:30. Welcome to News from here on GHOne Television. We are live from our studios at the Platinum Place, North Ridge here in Accra. Also live on Facebook, on YouTube and on X at GHOne TV. Now here's what to expect in the next hour. Woes of Kwabena Adu-Boahene deepen as police rearrest him upon release today over alleged malfeasance involving the Ghana Water Limited. Also, railway workers hit the streets to protest unpaid salaries. We're live there to give you details of that. In business today, government gives 4-week ultimatum for final plan submission for second gas processing plant. And elsewhere, UN agency head calls Israeli blockade a weapon of war. Well, thank you so much for staying on with us this morning. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. The details now. Former National Signals Bureau Director General Kwabena Adu-Boahene has been arrested again immediately after being released on bail in a 49 million cedi theft case due to another unrelated matter. Now, the development emerged at the High Court in Accra on Tuesday, May 13. Adu-Boahene's lawyer, Samuel Atachia, informed the court of the rearrest after confirming his client's release on bail following a 7-day remand. Now, the remand had been granted on May 2 after the Attorney General accused Adu-Boahene of tampering with witnesses. EIB Network's legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa, who is in court, reports that his latest arrest is in relation to the Ghana Water Company Limited scandal.
It has been confirmed to the High Court that Kwabena Adu-Boahene, the former Director General of National Signals Bureau, has been released on bail as per the directive of the court at the last court sitting. He was remanded for 7 working days, and that particular days elapsed last night. And the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Mensah, confirmed down to the court, and same was corroborated by his lawyer, Samuel Atachia. But it took an interesting turn of event where lawyers for Kwabena Adu-Boahene indicated to the court that their client was rearrested moments after he was released on bail in relation to NSB 49 million Ghana cedi scandal. But this time, the new arrest is in relation to a different matter altogether. Let's hear from Samuel Atachia, confirmed that immediately when I engaged him.
They released him midnight and then rearrested him on the basis of the newfound matters they were looking at. But the question is, in the period in which he had the freedom, why didn't they deal with the matter? And they'll leave it till midnight and rearrest him. Is somebody very excited that incarcerating another Ghanaian with all manner of tactics will aid justice? And that is unfortunate. And if there were serious matters of consequence, and he's on bail, huge bail, 80 million Ghana cedis bail. He's living nowhere.
One of the things that took place was to the effect that he's raising concerns about how documents which was supposed to be for national security was leaked.
It was unfortunate that it leaked, because the letter was intended for the National Security Coordinator, in which he was trying to let him know that where he is, national security matters are being raised. And he should come to terms with it. That's what he was trying to do. He was not saying that he's afraid to, defend himself, but he's saying that they are pushing him in areas of national security. And when pushed to come to shove, he has to defend himself. And national security will not come to your aid, so you go to jail. That would be unfortunate. It will be a tragedy that cannot be calculated. So that was the intent of the letter. The letter was not supposed to come into the public domain. He wrote to the coordinator, the successor national security, coordinator.
In relation to what took place today, the Samuel Atachian has been giving some explanation also in relation to matters arising.
Why should a man be found guilty when he's innocent and when he's dealing with national security matters? So when a man is faithfully helping national security to have the sanity of the nation, why should he go through what he's going through?
The court, presided over by Justice John Eugene Nyante, directed the Attorney General's Department to file their disclosure document and all witness statements they intend to rely on in fighting this case by 20th of May. The case has been adjourned to the 26th of May for case management conference. From the Law Court Complex here in Accra, Mutala Idusa, GHOne.
Right, so that's Mutala Inusa giving us some updates on the situation there. He's joining us via Zoom to have a proper appreciation of how all of this is panning out now. Mutala, thank you for joining us. So from what you sent us earlier, clearly his lawyers are unhappy, and we understand it has to do with Ghana Water Limited. Talk to me about that.
Well, Joshua, remember that the last time the Attorney General did engage the nation, did engage the media, he made mention about the fact that Kwabena Adu-Boahene is involved in another matter, which very soon we'll see charges being preferred against him. And rightly so, today when this very matter came out, you note that at the last court sitting, what Justice John Nyante directed was that he should be in custody for 7 working days. And upon that, the lapse of the 7 working days, he should be released, where the Deputy Attorney General even assured the court that that is exactly what will happen. We were informed in court today that rightly so, he was, as it were, released on bail midnight. And then his lawyer, Samuel Atachian, did confirm that, but only added that, yes, moments after he was released last night, he was picked up again in the unrelated matter, which obviously has to do with the Ghana Water Company Limited scandal that the Attorney General did speak about the last time when he engaged the media. So in respect of this leg of the case, the National Signal Bureau case, where 49 million Ghana cedis is involved, that case, Kwabena Adu-Boahene has been granted bail, 80 million Ghana cedis, 2 sureties, 1 to be justified. Remember that sometime back, the High Court, they came to the High Court, and the High Court reviewed that. That's the same bail condition that is applying before the judge remanded him for 7 working days. So he is on that particular bail. But in respect of this new matter, what is clear is that even though he has been granted bail and released on bail, he's still in custody, he's still in local custody because of the latest arrest in relation to the different leg of the case that has come up now.
So with the previous matter, or the original case in court, which has to do with the 49 million CD theft, allegedly by, as we are being told by the Attorney General, what's the update on that? Because now we know, yes, he's been released on bail, but yes, unfortunately, he was rearrested. But what's the update on that particular case?
What is clear is that the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Mensah, confirmed to the court that they've had all their witnesses sign their witness statement. So what is next to be done is for them to file their witness statement and all disclosure documents. Disclosure documents include other other processes that has to do with this case, including those that will not even rely on in the prosecution of this case, to be given to the accused person, and the file has to be filed and same given to the accused person and his lawyers to be able to prepare or mount their defense. And that is why the court has directed that after filing this by the 20th of May, on the 26th of May, the parties ought to come back to the court. And what the court will do that day is to conduct case management conference where they will sort out the modalities for which the trial should be done, the witnesses who will come, what kind of languages would they be speaking, would they be requiring interpreters to come. So all these arrangements will be made. How would the witnesses come to court and testify? That arrangement all will be done under case management conference. And so that is what is expected to happen once the case come up on the 26th of May.
Very well. Mutala, thank you so much. Mutala Inusa is our man in court, bringing us all the updates on the matters there. But what we do know is that Kwabena Adu-Boahene has been rearrested, is still in Yoko custody over a different matter, as promised by the Attorney General somewhere last week. Well, railway workers have also hit the streets of Accra to protest unpaid salaries as talks with management stalls. Now, the workers have also officially begun their strike today. Now, they're demanding payment of 7 months' outstanding salaries. Union representatives say multiple attempts to resolve the issue have failed, prompting the decision to lay down their tools. The workers are appealing to President GHOne Dramani Mahama to intervene to salvage the situation. Here is Branch Secretary of the Railway Workers Union speaking to Nadi Ditete on the Morning Star earlier.
We haven't been paid for the past 7 months, and we have been able to calm the workers down up to this day. This is the 13th of May. It started somewhere last year. That's October. We waited, and then the previous government went out. So our management told us they are expecting a new sector minister for them to engage him and see the way forward of railway. We waited. A minister was appointed, went through vetting process, being cleared by Parliament as sector minister. Now, what we heard was our management, together with the National Union, went to him, did a whole lot of talks with him. He promised to settle the arrears. I've heard he asked them the strength, and then he was told, but as a new minister, he told them he will come back and then organize a head count for which every worker was told, made present. The head count had been done perfectly. April, we were told just first week in May we will see something happening. We have waited, giving management a whole lot of time for them to tell us what is going on. But as at now, 13th day of May 2025, we are not hearing any positive thing from them.
So you heard one of the leaders of the railway workers, but we know they're demonstrating today currently. And so let's get to the grounds and speak to our lady on the beat, Sena Ajato, on this particular one. Sena, thank you so much. So what was the update on the demonstration by the railway workers?
Yes, Kodjo, I don't know if you can hear behind my back. These workers payment. Yes. Now, according to them, there's no improvement. They haven't good yet. Some of them have gone on pension. Some of them have been in the union for 21 years. Little to no amount of according to some of them, we just heard that they've not received that tier 2 payment. We have here the general secretary for the Accra Union branch, Franklin. Yeah, Mr. Franklin, about the tier 2, what's the issue?
Yeah, we have workers who have been gone on retirement about 2 years ago, and they are still occupying our cottage because their tier 2 hasn't been paid as of now. So they are occupying the cottage. We can't even inject them because they are when they went to tier 2, they were told when they are paid. They are not paying their tier 2. So they are also occupying the cottage. We can't inject them.
How significant is this affecting your livelihood?
Very, 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 very bad. You see, look at the situation. Those who are shouting Yeniabri for, some of them are hiring rooms whilst our pensioners are occupying the cottage. Because if their tier 2 have been paid, I don't think we'll be having problem with accommodation. We have a lot of people who are still hiring rooms whilst when we get a whole lot of cottage. So it's very bad on our side. And we don't know what to do and who to run to.
So you've not received any response from the management?
Yeah, we talked to them They told us they are on it. We were told the previous government is no more there. So they are waiting for the present government to appoint a minister. We waited patiently. The minister was appointed. We went through process of vetting. He was cleared by Parliament, of course. He has started his work as the minister. He conducted a head count, about 900 and something workers, and they have concluded it. So we are waiting for, what we are saying is only salary, because for the past 3 to 4 years, no pay increment. If you are taking, our managing director is taking an amount which is an ISO lesser than 4,000. He's doctor engineer. So you just imagine if he's working at port, how much would that man take?
Do you think the future for this railway? What do you think? Where do you think it should end?
We are pleading for now. We are pleading for the government. If not, bring in investors for them to come in. If not, almost every day railway sinks. It sinks down. So for now, I'm over 100% sure that within the next a year, you will never see railway again, unless His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the nation, comes in. If not, I don't think what will happen.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Joshua.
Quite worrying development there. But have they indicated what the end game of this is? What they intend doing after the demonstration?
Come again.
I'm asking what they intend doing after the demonstration.
Yeah, so according to them, if they don't hear anything from the management, if they don't hear anything from the, President John Dramani Mahama, they are not going to work. That is what they are saying at the moment.
Right.
They are not going to work. They'll come to work. They are currently at the office, all right, but they are not going to do anything as workers.
Vero, Senna,
and all they are seeking is to get paid. Yeah.
Thank you. That's Senna Ajato there monitoring the railway workers strike for us. They are on strike. They are also demonstrating today over unpaid salaries, among others. Meanwhile, the Ghana Railway Development Authority has issued a statement to distance itself from the actions of the Ghana Railway Company Limited. Now, in the statement, they emphasize that the strike does not have any impact on the operation. So you can see on your screen's excerpt says the Ghana Railway Development Authority wishes to clarify that the industrial action taken by the Ghana Railway Company Limited on Tuesday is entirely unrelated to the authority. It says that the Ghana Railway Development Authority and the Railway Company Limited are separate entities with distinct legal mandates. And it goes on to state that legal mandates, and it says that since the coming into force of Act 779, the Railway Company Limited, a state-owned limited liability company, has focused mainly on operating railway services, including passenger and freight transport. And so they wish to assure the public that the Ghana Railway Development Authority remains fully operational and has not initiated or endorsed any form of public demonstration on any issue. So they are indeed focused on final preparations for the operationalization of the newly constructed 97-kilometer Tema-Mpakadan railway line, which is supported by 2 new trains government has procured. And this milestone reflects the authority's continued commitment to fulfilling its infrastructure development mandate and streamlining operational requirements of the new standard gauge railway lines we are leading to develop through the Railway Master Plan of Ghana. And we reiterate that there is no disruption to our work and our operations remain unaffected by any industrial action by the Ghana Railway Company Limited. So that's the statement coming in from the Ghana Railway Development Authority. And they're also encouraging the public to distinguish between the two entities and not confuse one for the other. Now, commercial transport operators are demanding swift action from the government and police over increasing street trading on roads and pavements. Now, despite road traffic regulation, which is LI 2180, traders continue to encroach on road spaces, causing congestion and endangering lives. Now, they argue that while transport operators face strict enforcement, traders operate freely in public lanes without consequence. And so they've issued a firm deadline of May 19 to the government. They say if the law isn't enforced by then, they would withdraw their vehicles in protest and stage a march with relevant ministries to press for safer roads, designated parking, and proper regulation. And all of this was contained in a press statement where they are also calling for collaboration, but warned that failure to act would trigger drastic measures. So on your screens now, you see excerpts of that press statement issued by the commercial transport owners, basically talking about the issues of disruption caused by traders who have encroached on roads. And they say this is posing safety risks, among others, and also disrupting traffic flow. So they have concerns there. They say there's a deadline of May 19. If the government does not act on this, they'll be forced to take some drastic measures, including withdrawing their services, so that the commuting public would have no option than to stay wherever they find themselves. Well, let's stay more on this particular development. Speak to Samuel Amoah. He's PRO for the Ghana Private Road Transport Union. Samuel, thank you so much for joining us. So, traders selling on the streets, it's not a new phenomenon. So, why are you issuing the May 19 ultimatum to the government?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Let me use this opportunity to say good morning to your viewers. Yes, we've come out with a statement. Why we've come out with this statement this time is, one, the Road Traffic Act 2012, LI 2180, the regulation 7, stated clearly that trading on the roads, bus stops, pavements, and then toll booths are prohibited. And the same act is saying that should they find someone doing that, then it means that the person has to be arrested and prosecuted. And, these things we the commercial transport operators are suffering seriously. The reason why I'm saying that is our bus stops have now been taken as tend to marketplaces.
Right.
Likewise, the pavement, and then because of that, drivers are forced to park anywhere. And if they park anywhere, police will arrest them. And this harassment has been going on. Complaints have been coming to our office, the GPRT offices and all the transport unions as well. And that is why this time around we say no. The government must act. Right. Because if a driver makes a mistake and run over some of these hawkers on the roads, the law says that the driver has to be arrested. And an incident happened in Ashaiman about 2 years ago where a Kia truck failed brake and he ran over some sellers on the road. And as I'm speaking to you now, the driver is in jail as I'm speaking to you. And we have made series of complaints about this, and they are not acting on it. That is why we say this time around, we are giving the government up to 19, that is coming Monday.
Right.
If nothing is being done, then it means that we have to park our vehicle.
Right.
Because we can't continue to be parking anywhere for police to be arresting us, taking money from us and all that.
Mr.
So that
Amoah,
is why we are coming out like that.
Right. Mr. Amoah, have you engaged the government or relevant authorities on this development if as it stands now?
Yes, severally. We know, these hawkers, normally we know the municipal assemblies used to act on them. And this time around, they have taken, they are not doing it. And series of complaints have gone there. They've been complaining to the police, they've been complaining to the assembly, right, and all that. And now we have come to understand that nothing is being done. That is why now we are calling on the interior ministries, the road ministries, the transport ministries, and the local government ministries for them to come and assist us by, letting us know that if they don't have a place for the hawkers to sell, then they should quickly build a market for them and force them to go to the market to go and sell and leave the road for us. Now pedestrians cannot even use the pavement, the walkway. They cannot use the walkway because all those areas are turned to marketplaces, and it's disturbing. Hawkers are forced to walk in the road. Are you getting it? And if a driver, make a slight mistake, he will knock someone down, and it will cause a problem. So that is why we are like this.
Very well. Mr. Amar, thank you so much for speaking with us, and we'll keep monitoring the space and see what happens between now and the deadline, which is the 19th of May. But that's the concern from the Transport Operators Association. They want this urgently dealt with. Now, the acting director of the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, has waded into the controversy that involves the Director of Communications of the NDC, the National Communications Officer, Sammy Gyamfi. Now, Sammy Gyamfi has been under intense criticism for the past few days for a video which went viral on social media in which he was seen giving some dollar notes to spiritualist turned evangelist Mama Pat, aka Patricia, aka Agrada. Now, speaking to me earlier on J Today, Dr. Tanko Computer said the NPP simply making a mountain out of a molehill as he questioned the motive of the individual who recorded the video.
People are making a mountain out of this. It's not anything. And then even the money involved there, even with that in government, Sammy could afford such a money. Even in opposition, they know who Sammy was. Okay, and what he was doing. So if you are making noises, I know for my friends in opposition, that is just talk of street, and that to make sure that they do press conferences every day to keep their party along. Their party is imploding. Inwardly, things are just not going. They say they are doing press conferences today. Don't be surprised. What they are minority yesterday is what they are going to bring back today. Again, that's how they are. Everything they go on press conference upon press conferences, on press conference upon conference. We'll follow them. We will continue to explain to the good people of Ghana. Sammy has done a human's job. Look at the gold board. The success story of the gold board. So they're just trying to dampen his spirit and then make sure that he doesn't continue the good work he's doing over there. He will continue the good work. He's doing it, and it's for Mother Ghana. Ghanaians are enjoying the fruit of what he's doing. We are all enjoying it. Today, market, go to the pump. Fuel prices are coming down. Dollar rate, come and see. It's going down, going down, going down. So those who open bank accounts in their rooms and ordered several dollars, pounds, and other things in their bedrooms, are they not bringing them out? Haven't they seen that they are hot, and the city is now being stabilized and it's going down? All these success stories, his contribution is part of it. And then so he said this is an indiscretion. He apologized for the indiscretion. He has not committed any crime, and I'm saying that I'm happy the chief of staff invited him.
Okay. Well, still on this development, national organizer of the New Patriotic Party, Henry Nana Boakye, has strongly criticized acting CEO of Gold Board, Sammy Gyamfi, for what he describes as a reckless and inappropriate act. Now, it follows widespread public outrage over a video showing Sammy Gyamfi handing out US dollar notes to former fetish priestess turned evangelist Patricia Odro Cranton, popularly known as Nana Agrada. Now, speaking at a press conference, Nana Boakye said Sammy Gyamfi's actions undermine the code of conduct and must not be taken lightly. He further urged the president to take immediate action by interdicting Sammy Gyamfi for breaching both the code of conduct and the country's anti-money laundering laws.
Section 1 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act, Act 1044, makes the possession, concealment, conversion, disguise, or transfer that is or forms part of an unlawful activity an offense punishable by a term of imprisonment or up to 10 years. We call on the lawful establishment investigative agencies of state, the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Criminal Investigation Department, CID of Ghana Police, to investigate the activities of Mr. Sammy Gyamfi in his short tenure as acting chief executive officer. Investigate the activities of Mr. Sammy Gyamfi in a short tenure as acting chief executive officer of both PMMC and the Ghana Gold Board. These bodies must search all his houses, probe any properties acquired in his stay so far in government, and if possible, prosecute him for failure to show the source of huge sums of money found in his possession. Mr. Gyamfi also engaged in patent opulence on ostentation of just after 120 days in government. On the day in question, Mr. Jemfi was being driven in a 2025 school spec Range Rover autobiography valued at $350,000. The question that should engage the minds of well-meaning Ghanaians and how Mr. Sami Jemfi can afford all these things under 120 days of being in government, and if they are gifts, who are these persons gifting him, and what relationship do they have to his work as CEO? If within 120 days in office, appointees of Mr. Mahama have become culpable of such opulence and ostentation, then the years ahead will be indeed a telling story.
So that's Henry Nanabuachi detailing what they are also demanding to be done in the wake of this whole furore surrounding Sami Jemfi's issues. Well, a U.S. court has drastically reduced the $18 million in damages awarded against a former Sin Central MP Kennedy Japon to $500. Now, following a defamation suit filed by Ghanaian investigative firm Tiger IPI, the reduction comes after a motion was filed by Kennedy Japon urging the court to review what he described as an excessive award. Now, the trial judge, ruling last month, agreed that while Mr. Japon had indeed maliciously defamed the plaintiff, the initial amount awarded by the jury was disproportionately high. In a press release issued on May 11, 2025, Tiger IPI acknowledged the reduction but stressed that the essence of the case was never about financial compensation, but in the judgment. Now, the investigative firm further stated its commitment to fighting corruption, adding that the outcome only strengthens its resolve to fight for truth and justice. Meanwhile, in a viral video, the former Sin Central MP is seen happily singing with his team and family, signaling their joy over the development. Right, so now let's check out exactly how you are reacting to this, because Kennedy Japon in that video said, well, perhaps they should increase the amount to $5,000. Nana Markwa has the details of what you've been saying on social media on this development. Nana, are they adding the 5,000?
Well, Joshua, netizens are talking a lot about this because, I mean, when I first heard that it was $18 million, I was quite surprised, but well, that's what the court said. Let's move straight over to Facebook. Ohiniba says, in all these, Ken is the winner. You argue and argue, but he has won. Ali adds less than what Sami Jemfi gave to Agrada. We also have Williams. Today the dollar is dropping, so he should wait until it gets to 1 cedi to dollar. Then he pays him. We also have on Instagram, Tofik, the fact that Anas wins that case, it means a lot to him than the defamation amount. It shows how poor our judiciary is. We also have our next comment, Ken, please let your lawyers go again. So all and even the $500 should be wiped out. We also have Andor, Sami Jemfi, Gofi Pay, give Ken. We have in Ketia here, Kennedy is unstoppable. Here, $18 million to $500 per. Who? You also have Jemfi. Ken should let me pay this. Okay. When we move over to X, we have Oscar. Hey, this world we day. We also have our last comment here. Why are people not attacking the US judiciary system like they do to the Ghanaian judiciary? Or this doesn't fit in their agenda. Well, that's what you had to say. Continue to send us your messages on Instagram, Facebook, and on X, which is formerly Twitter. My name is Nanama Akwa. Joshua?
Nana, thank you so much. And yes, netizens can really get you into trouble with your comments on that. But that's what you've been telling us on this matter on social media. But away from that, the Minority Caucus in Parliament has issued a blistering statement condemning what it describes as an unclear and egregious violation of the 1992 Constitution following the simultaneous absence of the President, John Dramani Mahama, his vice, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, and then the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagban, from the country without the constitutionally mandated swearing-in of an acting president. Now, in a press release dated Monday, 12th May 2025, the minority described the situation as alarming and deliberate, asserting that the government has willfully disregarded Article 60 of the Constitution, which spells out the line of presidential succession. Now, according to the caucus, the president left the jurisdiction fully aware that the vice president, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, was already abroad receiving medical care, and that the speaker had departed the country on May 8th. Despite this, no steps were taken to ensure the speaker was sworn in as acting president, a move the minority argues is both unconstitutional and a calculated display of impunity. Meanwhile, the Member of Parliament for Bekwai, Ralph Edusei-Poku, has said, inasmuch as he blames the president for leaving the country in the state, he acknowledges that the Constitution has not made a provision to addressing anomalies as what the country is currently faced with.
The Constitution that we have that has failed to address this a situation like this. Why do I say this? There is a provision that if the president is not there, this vice president standing, the speaker, in that order. But when the three of them, they are not there, then it becomes a gray area that we need to immediately look at. But what the minority is saying that the three of them didn't travel at the same time. Okay. We had the vice president, our able mother, who has been away for some time. Speaker, we are told, left. So from our information, it was the president was last to leave. We felt that, look, as the head of the state, whatever that you had to go and do outside, if it wasn't a matter of life and death, you could have waited for at least the speaker to return, get the speaker to take over before you leave the country. So we are saying that he was not, the decision taken to leave the country and three of them being out of the country is not taking into consideration the interests of the state that we expected him to take, to the extent that we wanted him to sacrifice any and everything for the country, because this is an oath that you took, and you will do anything and everything to defend this state in any way that you can.
Well, let's speak to private legal practitioner Wayo Ganamanti on this development. Wayo, thank you so much for joining us. So, really, do you see a constitutional gap here, as the minority claims?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon to your cherished viewers and listeners. I think it's a very serious situation we find ourselves. This is more than a crisis. This borders on security, and it's like we don't learn from history. As somebody coming from the CPP and a former running mate of the party, this happened to us. President Mahama should learn from history. Osadipo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah left, and when he left this country, he was overthrown. Nkrumah was overthrown when he left this country. If Nkrumah was in Ghana, there would have been any such activity. So if the vice president is not well, and the speaker has also left, at least for whatever the president is going to do out there, the president should have found a way to summon the speaker to return. I mean, somebody else could have gone to continue what the speaker was out there doing. So it's a very serious situation. And the Constitution Review Committee, this is another area that has just come. All these things are happening, and I think it's very good these things are happening, so that the Constitution we are reviewing, we can look at these things. This is a very serious situation.
So the minority is practically calling on the president to catch back his trip. We know he's in La Côte d'Ivoire. They are calling on him to cut back the trip and come back to the country because of the security matters that you also are very mind to. Do you think that should be the way?
Exactly the point. The president should come back immediately, because I've just said that Osadipo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown when he left the jurisdiction. President Mahama wants to reset Ghana. Please. I keep saying that it looks like the NDC is still they are in the air. They are so airborne with the victory of the 2024 election. And people have surrounded themselves with the president. We have lawyers, we have advisors, all of them. Please. They shouldn't take this lightly. The president must cut short and return.
Right.
You understand? Because even if the speaker returns, the president is not here to hand over to the speaker. So in this scenario, the person who must return is the president. And let somebody else go and continue the rounds the president is doing. The president should be very, very, very much clear with some of these historical antecedents.
Right. Wayo, thank you so much for your contribution there. Wayo Ganamanti is a private legal practitioner, also a member of the Convention People's Party. Now, let me take you to the Volta region, where a notorious drug peddler in the Akachi municipality has been arrested following weeks of surveillance. Intelligence led police to the suspect's residence on 10th of May 2025, leading to the recovery of 92 slabs of a substance suspected to be Indian hemp. There's more in the following report.
The substances were tightly wrapped in yellowish material and hidden within the property. Also retrieved were 2 royal motorbikes believed to be stolen. Preliminary investigations indicated that the suspect has been operating an illegal drug business in Akachi and nearby communities. During interrogation, he admitted to owning the drug and motorbikes. Bukari Yakubu is currently in custody, assisting police with investigations, and will soon be arraigned before the courts. The Ghana Police Service has reiterated its commitment to fighting drug trafficking and is urging the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity. In another development, 3 young individuals have been convicted and sentenced for a violent street robbery involving a stolen iPhone in Ho. The Ho Circuit Court handed down a total of 19 years in prison to the trio, whose calculated crime shocked residents near the Central Market. The swift response by bystanders and police led to the arrest and prosecution within days. The convicts, 22-year-old Mensah Sope, Achu Kamasa, 25, and Godfrey Judonu, 19, were found guilty of robbing 21-year-old Elijah Tokbeji. The scheme began when Mensah Sope requested to borrow the victim's iPhone 6, valued at 700 cedis, for a selfie near the Ho Central Market on May 9, 2025. As she distracted him, her accomplices suddenly attacked the victim with scissors and snatched the phone. The victim raised an alarm. Godfrey Judonu was quickly apprehended with the phone in his possession and handed over to the police. Further investigations led to the arrest of the other 2 suspects. On May 9, the 3 were arraigned before Osman Abdul Hakim at the Ho Circuit Court. All pleaded guilty and were sentenced to 3 years each for conspiracy to commit robbery, while Achu Kamasa and Godfrey Judonu received an additional 5 years each for an act of robbery. The police are urging the public to remain vigilant and cautious, especially when approached by strangers in public spaces.
Well, you're still watching news from here on GHOne Television with me, Joshua Kodjo Mensah. We'll take a breather here. We've got more for you after that. Well, in business this afternoon, in a significant move to boost Ghana's energy security and reduce dependence on costly fuel imports, the government has inaugurated the implementation committee for the country's second gas processing plant. According to Deputy Energy Minister Richard John Mensah, who chairs the technical committee for the GPP Phase 2 project, full-scale implementation will begin immediately after the final plan is submitted within the next 4 weeks. Now, once operational, the new plant is expected to substantially cut Ghana's reliance on imported liquid fuels, which are projected to cost the country over $1 billion this year. The GPP Phase 2 project is also expected to create more than 1,000 jobs and save Ghana over $500 million. The implementation committee, chaired by the Deputy Minister for Energy and Green Transition, has been tasked with completing the implementation plan within the stipulated timeline. Building on the foundation laid by the Twabo gas processing plant, GPP2 is expected to enhance energy reliability and contribute significantly to Ghana's economic stability. Well, as livelihoods increasingly depend on efficient cross-border payments, the Bank of Ghana is urging policy coherence and regulatory agility across Africa. The central bank says multiple frictions stemming from a patchwork of regulations, legacy systems, different time zones, and misaligned data standards continue to hamper progress. Speaking at the opening of the IMF Sub-Saharan Africa Central Bank Network Seminar on CBDCs and digital payments held at the Bank Square in Accra, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Isiama emphasized the need for collective action to harmonize compliance protocols, boost interoperability, and strengthen consumer protection.
For our continent, ladies and gentlemen, the stakes are quite high. Remittances often are lifelines for our families, but these remain costly and inefficient. Small businesses struggle with the high friction of cross-border trade settlements, and regulators face growing complexity in balancing openness with oversight. Now, yet infrastructure alone is not enough. Policy coherence and regulatory agility must go hand in hand with these. We see strong potential in tools, and I'm talking about tools such as multi-regulatory sandboxes, which bring regulators, innovators, and governments into a shared testing environment. Similarly, we could also have supervisory technologies or SupTech that can enhance real-time compliance monitoring, cross-border data flows, and information sharing. We must also be proactive in shaping international digital standards, particularly in areas such as AML, CFT, in areas such as digital identity, and in areas such as data privacy, so that they are inclusive of our context rather than imposed from outside. Digital trade agreements, when thoughtfully constructed, can also promote interoperability and trust.
And so that's your business this afternoon. It's time to bring you the latest in the world of sports.
Thanks for joining us here on Sports Brief. I am Monica Bukari. Let's begin with the Black Satellites, where Egypt edged past Ghana 5-4 on penalties after a thrilling 2-2 draw in the CAF Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations Egypt 2025 quarter-final at the New Suez Stadium. Mohamed Sherif's first half brace gave Egypt the lead, but Aziz Issa And the last gasp penalty by Abdul Suleimana sent the game to extra time. Ghana went down to 10 men in 107th minute, but neither side could find a winner. In the shootout, Egypt held their nerve with Da Costa Aintrie's missed penalty, proving decisive. Egypt advances to their 8th under-20 AFCON semi-final, while Ghana exits after a spirited performance. Now to some boxing news, and Ghana's boxing scene is heated up once again, and this time as the former black bomber Jonathan Tete, who has stolen the spotlight at the Bukom Boxing Arena on Saturday night. Tete forced Enet Akushi, a.k.a. Bubali, submission after 7 punishing rounds to become the new national light heavyweight champion. But that wasn't all. Tete fired a bold shot at UK-based Ghanaian fighter Freezy McBones, declaring his next target.
Was dubbed the Battle of the Brave Hearts, and Jonathan, the well-white Tete, proved he had the bigger heart and the heavier hands. The former Olympian floored Enesa Kushe, aka Baobali, twice in rounds 1 and 5, before Baobali's corner threw in the towel ahead of round 7 at the Bukom Boxing Arena. The 7th round stoppage not only crowned Tete the new national light heavyweight king, but also marked a defining return for a boxer who once carried Ghana's Olympic hopes. In his post-fight remarks, he declared the UK-based social media sensation and boxer Freezy McBones as his next challenge, throwing down a gauntlet that boxing world will now watch closely. Baobali, who blamed poor gym and preparations for his loss, asked for a rematch. Also on the night, Alfred Lamte went the distance with Benin's Wally Imoro, with Joseph Kome scored the first round technical knockout over Nuruddin Boyefiu. The card, promoted by Box Office Sports and supported by Base Pharmacy, wasn't without controversy. A promising showdown between Isaac Aye and Isaac Kome was abruptly halted by referee Richard, drawing criticisms for ending the bout prematurely and leaving the result unresolved.
And that's a call to Freezy McBones. But let's do some tennis. And Emma Raducano's encouraging Italian Open run came to an end. And the last number 3, Coco Gauff, proved too much of a step up in class. Raducanu, ranked 49th in the world, lost 6-1, 6-2 on the Rome clay to American Gauff. For the first time in her career, the British number 2 had won 3 clay court matches in a row to reach the 4th round in the Italian capital. Let's listen to Coco Gauff speaking after her game.
Knew it was going to be a tougher match, and she's been playing some great tennis, and she had a good win over Veronica, which is not easy to do. So yeah, I'm really happy with how I played today, and yeah, definitely my best match so far here. I would say serve and definitely forehand. I think you was able to use that a lot to move her around the court and really put her on defense for most of the match. So I think those were the 2 keys, and honestly a little bit of luck because it was super windy, so some points were very awkward to play. Footwork and when I'm turned early, I think those are the things that make it when I can play aggressive and really move around. So yeah, and then I've been working a lot on the footwork the last few weeks, so hopefully it can continue to pay off.
Now do join us for more sports at 1 p.m. here on GHOne. My name is Monica Bukari. Back to you, Joshua.
Many thanks, Monica, for serving us sports. Let's now find out what is happening elsewhere. Now, the head of the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees has accused Israel of using hunger as a weapon of war in Gaza. Speaking to the BBC, Felipe Lazzarini, Commissioner General of the UNRWA, said civilians in Gaza are facing starvation due to Israel's blockade on humanitarian aid, calling it a weaponization of food. He warned that if supplies don't resume soon, people will die, not from bombs, but from hunger. Now, since the start of March, Israel has blocked all food and medical aid into Gaza. The move came after the collapse of a ceasefire and renewed Israeli airstrikes on March 18th. The latest food security report shows Gaza is on the brink of famine, with over 2 million people facing extreme hunger. Nearly 500,000 Gazans are now classified as being in catastrophic conditions, including tens of thousands of children and mothers at risk of acute malnutrition. Lazzarini said, quote, this is a war crime, and warned the situation could ultimately amount to genocide. Well, that's all in this package here on Newsroom on GH1 Television. There's more news for you at starfm.com.gh. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Many thanks to the production team for making this happen. Do have a wonderful afternoon.
GHOne OV van has been one of the best vans I've used personally in this country. It runs a system where we are able to run on Dante to be able to do our broadcast mixed well also from this van.
I've used this OB van for quite a number of big productions, i.e. 3 music awards, the late President Rollis' state funeral, Emmys Africa Awards, and a number of them.
My experience with the GH1 van has been the state of the art equipment they have. Personal experience is you can use it for both indoor and outdoor, all events, conferencing, like anything you need a van to work for you, GH1 provides it.
My experience with the van has been very good. Why? Because it has a number of facilities that I may not get in other vans. You know, the van has a very wide bench that can accommodate all my technical crew. ICCU, switcher, graphics, CG, and all of that. And then it also has a studio, a green room studio that comes with TriCaster. So if you want somebody to do commentary on a live event, you can put that presenter who's in that studio as well and get that running.
To give an experience to our audience, we're also watching on TVs and online. Work with an Exo technology system, which makes your video mixing with Panasonic cameras, like a lot of other stuff in terms of content you need to get also for your live broadcasts.
I prefer the GH1 van to a lot of other vans I've used, or even doing my own setup on a tabletop setup. Because on a production, you see a number of people in the van. And so if you have a very small van, it means that it's going to be choked, and that will affect the creativity as well. The price has been discounted as well to accommodate varied budgets. And so no matter the budget you have, I understand you can have the track and do business with it.
It looks huge, but very affordable. Cost is really, really affordable. My experience with it, EMI Awards last year, super excellent. Try it, call them, and I'm going to give you the best of price. Really affordable.